Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, everyone? This is Brett Bovin, and welcome to the motherfucking electronic campfire. Today is Tuesday, May 6, 2025. We are not politically correct on this show. Strongly believe hunting and brotherhood go hand in hand. So we do a lot of hazing on the show. So I invite you all to haze along with us as we haze with you. That's what we do here in the show. Now, I don't have any 10-ring news for us today, except for I'm going to say this, though. Sundays, we do a live show every Sunday and Tuesday at 8 p.m., except for the very first Tuesday of every month, we cover a new state. The last Tuesday of every month, we do not do a live show. If you do want the Whitetail Advantage live show of our calendar that we post on our website, send us your email, and then we will add you to the calendar list, and then it will pop up on your own actual calendar. So, now a couple of things I do like to say in every show. I want to say thank you to all the men and women in the military. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your sacrifice. Myself and everyone on our team and everyone from Boondocks, we greatly appreciate that. And along with all the firefighters, the nurses, the police officers, the doctors, basically everyone in public service, I want to say thank you for your service as well. Last but not least, put your cord in the slot machine. Help share the show. Help grow the show. Make sure to check out Boondocks. Make sure to check out Garden State Outdoors Podcast as well. And now, with that being said, I invite you all to gather around the electronic camp. Pull up a chair. Gather around the electronic campfire. And let's have an amazing talk. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some turkeys, having Boondock, Mike, and Frank sharing their most memorable hunts. And we're going to be enjoying our last show before we take the week off for Mother's Day. Now, what is up, everyone? Oh, fuck, Dave's here.
What's up there?
What's up, boys?
Captain
What's up?
Captain Tranny.
So we got Mike on here with tonight from the Boondocks Outdoors. We have Dave from Whitetail Advantage, and just also Dave the Beast. Watch the ever-looking magnificent creature that he is.
He is
and
a creature.
Ambush Frank the host. Hey, Frank's the
What's
host.
up, everybody?
I ain't doing shit anymore. Frank's the host.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just gonna sit back and relax. Take it over, Frank.
That's right.
Of course.
Come on, Frank.
No, you
it's
guys
time to
go.
try. He's like, no, fuck it. It's my time to relax.
Look, I did it last night.
Well, we all know Squatch and Dave. Everybody knows you, but for everyone that doesn't know you, Mike, for everyone that doesn't know you, Frank, you know you guys are like basically brothers of the show here. Can you guys give a little background about yourself? Nobody wants to
Frank,
hear
go
it.
to go first.
Yeah, we don't want to hear it, but we're going to be nice.
No, I'll go. So I'm Frank Masika. I go by Broadside Ambush on Instagram. I'm also the host of the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast. Thanks. I live up in Wantage, New Jersey. I'm an avid, very avid hunter, fisherman, big family man. I got wife, kids, the whole 9 yards. So, just happy to be on here with all my brothers and ready to talk some turkey and shoot the shit. Let's do it.
Mike, what about you, brother?
Well, everyone, I'm Mike Nitre. I am the owner of Boondocks Hunting. Also the creator of the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast, and now co-host of the. I've been demoted on my own show to co-host, and actually now the host of our brand new show called Chase the Unknown Podcast. Love to hunt. Love to, be in the outdoors. Ex-hockey player. Grew up playing hockey, watching the playoffs right now. And just, when I'm not hunting or podcasting now or working on the brand, I'm at work. So, nothing crazy there. But, always exciting to come on to this great show and, our brotherhood podcast that we all get along with so well with and have tons of fun with every single episode we do.
So you have 3 shows now that you host.
We have two shows. We have 2 shows that we host. A YouTube series that I do as well that will actually be like our hunts and everything like that on there. And then we host events and go to events as well.
I know you guys do. This was your 2nd year doing the game night.
Yep. Second year doing the game night, and then this will be our 3rd year, going into our 3rd year doing the bow shoot and meet and greet.
Nice. Well, let's talk about some turkeys. I know, Squatch, I'm gonna let you guys take it over. You guys were recently successful out there in the woods shitting yourself, so why don't you guys take it over?
I don't know if it was Brokeback turkey hunting or what the fuck was going on there.
Yeah, Dave
I saw the text messages, so
Yeah, I was
Dave was
cracking
like-
up.
Yeah, it was Frank and I were getting pretty intimate because it was raining like a bastard out, and
yep.
we actually snuggled. I mean, we
We
just
took our
trying to stay in
relationship to a whole new level.
Yeah, I mean,
I bet
know,
you guys did.
Yeah.
He was like, once you go on Squatch, you'll never go back. So
Yeah, what you
So it started out, Frankie and I have been trying to hook up for you getting up to his property in Sullivan County, and it's really just like.
We have a comment here from Katrina. Remington is waiting for away from Dad, Frank, Uncle Squatch, and Uncle Mike.
Oh,
Hey, Remington.
Hi, what's up,
buddy?
Remy? So Remy's a great kid, man. I can't wait till he gets older. This is gonna be so freaking cool between us maniacs out there. And
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the story. We got finally together to go up to the property, and first off, I felt nothing more but welcome. Just like like you're walking on a piece of your own land with your brother, and we get up there and we came up with a quick setup. We had a really good position where we were. We picked a tree line that ends in the middle of the field that comes out from the far edge, and we were like central, and we had a nice, great big round bale that we tucked my ground blind up against, and we started calling. I started calling birds, and Frank's like, they're here, they're there. I said, yep. Well, one good thing is, Frank, they're going to come up from that bottom. I got a feeling, because we heard these, real mature gobbles down across the road from the farmhouse. And we're like, they're down there. But they had hens. So we knew that. And let me tell you, it's textbook land where he is. It's rolling, beautiful farmland. There's open fields. There's hardwoods all tucked around it in between. I mean, you couldn't, if Bob Ross painted a freaking picture of, hey, this is Happyville Turkey Land, that's where we were. So we made a series of calls. We kept stopping and calling, and we didn't want to over call. We'd get an occasional gobble, but they were kind of tight-lipped. And Frank has these beautiful Avian X turkey decoys. One's a tom and full strut. And he had like a feeding hen or like a tending hen out in front of it. And let me tell you, I was like barking orders because I'm the drill sergeant out there, and I'm like, Frankie, put them out like 30 yards out in front of us. Just set them up good. And he's like, yeah, all right. I look back and I was like, hey, you did a really freaking nice job. They look great, man. And he's like, oh, thanks. I mean, perfect. The way they look, they were set up. So we're calling and he goes, Squatch. I said, yeah. He goes, there's 2 on the hill. I said, oh, yeah. I see him. I said, you got binoculars? He goes, yeah, I do, in fact. So we're looking, look up the hill. The bird, every time I call, a bird fans out. But he's missing a tail feather. So we know him. If like you name a buck, he's like missing tail feather.
Listen, I got a vendetta with that fucker.
Yeah, you do. So the 2 of them are strutting, but I said to him, I said, boy, that's kind of weird. They're like right next to each other, and it's, they're in the prime of their freaking rut right now. They want to breed. And it's not like I haven't seen mature birds come in together or whatever, but usually, I don't know, it's a little funky. So we look, and we had seen 4 hens go in the same direction, and they followed. And I was like, bro, we're not going to get them off the real deal. I mean, I'm trying, but I don't want to blow my cover either, what we got going on here. So long story short, they take off. They go over the hill. They follow where the hens went. Then we had a hen come in the field, come across out in front of us a long ways off, almost about 90-something yards out. And I was like, you know what? They're moving good. It's getting to be that magic time, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Something's going to go down sooner or later. Well, you guys heard me preach before, especially, when we've talked about turkeys and stuff. It's very important to read the temperature of a bird. And I'm not saying shove a thermometer up its ass and read the thermometer. It's how they get back to you. It's how they talk. If a bird's hot, a bird will cut you off while you're calling. He'll keep calling back. If they're cold, they talk sporadically. They're walking around with hens. They could give two shits about you. So I made a couple of loud gobble calls, and I did some other light calling. And we just said, you know what? We're not hearing stuff, so let's hang out. So we're just shooting the shit. We're talking. Yep. Every once in a while, I stand up, stretch. I look out the side window to the field that's to our left, and I'm looking down past the hay bale. Nah, nothing. The whole time I'm, sitting there, I'm going, I know these birds are going to come up. And he goes, Squatch, what do you want to do? I said, well, a part of me wants to run and gun. Part of me wants to go maybe down the hill on the other side of the road where we heard those gobbles. But the good part of me says, don't move. And he's like, okay, well, you know the deal. And I said, well, I've had good luck sitting still 9:30, 10 o'clock. They get away from the hens. They come up. We just chill out. Let's see how it goes. As I say that, 3 deer come out into the field. And they walk out, and they're feeding around a little bit. So we're watching them, and they lay down. I says, look at this shit. They just bed it down. They bed it down out in front of us like 60 yards, 70 yards. So I hit the call a little bit, just messing with them, and they're looking. But, you guys know I'm a very faithful guy to God, and God gives me sign. And when I'm doing something right, I see deer. And his message to me was sit tight. They're sitting tight. I showed you the deer. They're sitting down. Stay put. And I started putting stuff together, and I'm like, something's going to go down. I got that feeling. So long story short, we go maybe, I don't know, another 20 minutes or so. I did a couple of call sequences in between. And Frank says, I got to stand up, Squatch. I got to stand up. Yeah, it's no problem. He goes, oh, God, he's here. I go, who's here? I thought somebody was on the property. He goes, the Tom's coming.
Yeah.
Don't move. He's grabbing me by the shoulders. Don't move, Squatch. Don't move. He's right there. He's coming by the big hay bale. And I'm like, Frank, we're in a fucking blind. He can't see you. He can't.
I'm like,
see
don't
you.
fucking move.
I'm like, so the camera, I have a tripod set up. I got the camera on it, and it's in the middle of the window. And I'm like, can you shoot? No, you shoot. I'm like, I want you to shoot him. He's like, Squatch, he's coming. He's moving fast. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I reach around the camera. I don't even get it on. He don't turn it on because he's got his gun. He don't know, what's going to happen. So I grab it, and I go right out the window real slow, and through the holes. I have that see-through
Squatch, you got to tell him one of the best parts, though. When you were trying to lift your gun up, we were sitting so close. I had my arm on the stock of his gun, so he's trying to lift up his gun. He's going, Frank, move your fucking arm.
I would have waited until he just got butt shooting, grabbed his stock, and went, bam.
So I sneaked that big old barrel out the freaking window, and this bird is pure broadside to me, and he is beeline. He's got his neck all the way out, his wings tucked all the way back. And he's just a monster. And he's, waddling along. I said, oh, no. I put the bead of that freaking reflex sight I just put on there right on the top of his head. And I touched it off. And he went right down. I mean, instantly. And I was like, oh, shit. Were you filming? He goes, no. I reach over. I hit the power button on my camera. And I got him flopping his last little bit of flopping around. And that was it. And I'm like, oh, man. But I was happy. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So, first thing I say to him, I'm like, Frankie, thank you so much. This is awesome. And then I looked at him and I went, oh, God, what did I do? And he's like, what? I was like, why did I shoot? You were supposed to shoot. And he's like, I told you to shoot. And I'm like, yeah, but this is your place, man. I was just here to call. And he's like, no, brother, it came to your side. I didn't really have a shot through there. He's like, I'm glad you shot, So you'll see on the video. I'm in the process. I'm about halfway through editing the video. I'll get that out on the Outdoors and More with the Squatch on YouTube. Frankie and Mike, I'll make sure you guys, I can send you the files for that too, and you guys can destruct them and resurrect them and do whatever the hell you want to do to them too. But
now, real quick, Squatch. Real quick.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You guys were in that blind. You guys were cuddling up.
Yeah.
For you to shoot that bird, you must have gave Frank a little incentive there. Like there had to be a reason why he was being so generous.
They were probably doing the who's got the longest straw can go first.
Squatch is like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I'm picturing the pop-up inside of it. Like if you were standing out in the field looking at it, the pop-up's doing this all over the fucking place because they're fucking jostling.
You know,
give me the gun. No, give me the fucking gun.
Yeah, literally.
No, we had the story. Well, we were like gonna make up shit, but we literally
were. We had this fucking discussion before.
Yeah,
there was this fucking pterodactyl and it came down at us, man, and we were fucking shooting at it.
No, I was like, yeah. So I go and automatically reach for the gun, and Frank fucking belts me in the jaw. And he's like, "That's my fucking bird." And I take him with one hand, stuff him to the fucking ground, put my leg on him, and I shot out the window. You know.
Yep. He took the bullets out of my gun while I wasn't fucking looking.
Yeah. I put the Allen key in his
notice.
reflex sight. Yeah.
You'll never notice.
Yeah. But nah. You know, like I said, so killing that bird was. And I'll tell you guys, that's one of the biggest ones, along with a couple other I've shot. That one I think has the longest spurs out of every one I shot. It had 1.5 inch long spurs.
That's pretty good sized spurs.
And that bird, I saw something online said that's between a 5 to 8 year old bird.
That's about right.
Yeah.
I had a buddy shoot a turkey 2 weeks ago, I think, roughly now, and it was 3 bearded. It was 12, 10, and 8 or something like that. And I was like, holy fuck. I didn't get a chance to see the photos. I was told of it through a second party or third party, I mean, and but he told me because he saw the photos. And I was like, fuck, it's very extremely rare. I mean, I'm not a big turkey guy. You guys know this, but I'd assume 3 bearded fucking turkeys are like fucking unicorn.
Well,
I've got
double beards rare.
Yeah, I've got double beards before over the years.
Yeah,
I had a 3 bearded. I had a 3 bearded last year.
Yeah,
I've never seen one.
I had one. Yeah.
Nope, never even seen one.
So the funny thing was, we were getting later on in the morning, and he was, I know how he gets. He gets like I do because I had him down at the land with me last year on my property, and he was like, man, we got to do this if we don't get one. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, I got to fuck with Mike. And I'm like, okay, I'm down. I go, what are you going to do? He goes, see that Tom decoy out there? I want you to take my picture with it. I'll have the shotgun in my fucking hand. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I said, I think we can freaking Photoshop that shit enough to look real too. We'll get Mike really So, we were joking around with all that, but so we get over there and, you'll see in the video, I was like in shock. I was just in shock. It happened so fast and it worked out perfectly. And I got over it. I saw how big the bird was. And I looked at him and I said, Frank, that's one of the biggest damn turkeys I ever shot in my life. And he's like, is it, man? That's freaking awesome. I'm like, it is. It's huge. So I pick it up and I'm like, yeah, I think it's around 23. So he's like, yeah, it's big. It's big. So anyway, long story short, get our pictures with it. We throw it up on this round bale out there. He looks, of course, again around. Oh, shit, there's turkeys out in the field, Squatch. So we go beelining for the freaking blind, play Twister in there again, get all freaking discombobulated, trying to get situated. And this hen came in. She just looks at the dead turkey on the hay bale, and she's like, oh, okay. She just feeds along. So I put some little footage of that in and everything, but just an awesome day. You know what? The killing of the bird, getting that bird, harvesting the bird, and knowing I had food for the table was just awesome. But being that guy right there was with me and we were on his property for the first time together, that's a memory right there, guys. And I hope every one of you guys get to experience that, because that just, I would trade missing 100 birds just for that camaraderie.
Fuck
what
that.
I'm
I don't
talking
like people that much.
Yeah,
You know?
Fuck
That's
that.
why you're a bald guy living in your basement.
Hey, I don't live with my mom anymore. I moved out last week.
Well, good for you. Yeah, we know. Look how white the walls there. That's one of those pods. You're living in a pod, aren't you? One of those moving things.
Yeah, it's a Connex underground. It's
No,
my
it's one of
bomb
those
shelter.
bunkers underneath the ground. Those
Yeah, it's my bunker underneath the
survivalist
ground.
type guys.
Yeah. Well, I can't thank Frank enough. Frank, thank you, my brother.
That is
Anytime,
awesome.
brother. It was
That's
fun,
awesome.
man. It was an awesome hunt. It was one of my favorites, literally.
Well, it's not looking good for me getting a bird this year. But by God, next year I'm making it fucking happen with Dave. I don't give a shit what the fuck happens. I don't care what. I'll take some vacation days for some birds.
Dude, there's turkeys out right now out to that spot that I deer hunt.
Yeah.
I mean,
with
season's
that being-
only over when you run out of bullets.
Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like deer season. How far does
And
deer
that's not
season go?
happening.
Yeah.
Till the horns fall
When'd
off.
you shoot that buck? Oh, December, January, you know?
Well, let's do this real quick. So you all have got a bird then, correct? I'm the only one that hasn't had a bird.
No,
I
I
haven't
haven't
got
got
one
one
yet.
yet.
Frank, you haven't gotten a bird?
Not yet.
Mike?
I've been close almost every single
Yep.
hunt, but haven't gotten a bird.
All right, so Squatch and Dave are the only two that haven't gotten a bird.
In their life?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought we
Oh,
were
wait,
talking
no,
you're
in my
talking
life,
your life. Frank's gotten one. I haven't.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
gotten
only my
them in my
second
life.
full
Yeah.
year. This
Yeah.
is my second full year turkey hunting. I haven't cared about turkey hunting until last year.
So Frank, you do have you have a bird then.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think is more, I don't want to use the word more, but what is more exciting, turkey hunting or deer hunting?
Ooh, man, that's
In my opinion, and I'm just going to say this, in my opinion, without doing the bird hunting yet, obviously they both have their pros and cons, and this is just me looking on the outsider perspective of turkey hunting. Nothing beats deer hunting, in my opinion. I don't think anything can beat it. But turkey hunting, what makes it amazing is the story that you guys just shared, that you're
Yep.
doing it. I mean, you are hunting together, don't get me wrong, but it's not like what you in close quarters, kind of like what you guys were. Besides, if you have like a camera guy up top, where it's more a dad, father, son type of deal, where you sit next to each other in a tree stand, deer hunting. But in my opinion, when you're actually bird hunting, you're hunting it with one of your best friends, your brothers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what makes it.
I think
More enjoyable.
I think
when
turkey hunting's more challenging. If you do
Yeah.
it with no blind
Yeah.
and with a bow, way fucking harder.
Oh yeah.
You're
I-
hunting
I'll-
you're hunting an eagle basically on the ground with a bow.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think I look at the difficulty I'm having even with the gun, but I think like if we're talking about excitement and which one's more fun and more just gets the heart pumping, it's 100% deer. Like when a big buck comes in versus a big tom, like the buck is gonna do things too. Like I've almost thrown up. That's how excited I've gotten.
I'm not pissing my pants for a turkey.
Yeah,
No, exactly.
but I will say what I do like about turkey is, listen, at the end of the day, right now, deer season's over. So instead of me just sitting on the couch or going to work or something like that, like I'm out in the woods. So like that makes it a lot of fun. But today, and I'll tell you today, I get out to the woods. I have these hens. These hens fly down every single day into this field, and both fields are packed with birds. I have Frank and Squatch know. I mean, I probably have roughly about, usually when they get all together, probably like 20 something hens, right? So a phenomenal number of hens. All the big toms have been killed except for one is left, and then there's a bunch of jakes, but so they fly right into the middle of the field, right off the roost. I know exactly where they're roosting, but I can't get to where they're roosting without blowing them off the roost because it's so wide open. And this morning, it's foggy. I mean, visibility, I couldn't see into the field. Finally, like 30 minutes after sunrise, I would say, where I can finally like see, and I see just these black spots like 200 to 300 yards out into the field already. I'm like, all right, they're down already. I'm like, he's going to be close behind. Like, I know he's going to be close behind. And, you know, 10, 15 minutes go, and just there he is, right with them again, just like he was yesterday, just like he was the last week. But what makes this spot so challenging is I can't make a move to get any closer to where I am. I'm kind of have to pick a spot where I think they're going to go to. And if they go to it, great, which obviously they haven't, or if they veer off and decide to change their mind and change the route, then I'm kind of out of luck, because I can't even make a play, because I'm a run and gun style turkey hunter, just like, you know, for the most part, what I do with deer hunting and everything like that. That's what makes it fun. Like, it's great it's great being on a bird and sitting there. But today I got bored. I was there from when I got in till like 10:30, sitting there the whole entire time, barely moving, and I was bored. And it was like, turkeys are coming in, but like, when I have deer coming in, I'm like in the tree. I'm excited. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. But these things took so long, but they didn't want to leave the middle of the field, because obviously they've been shot at. The bird, just like their bird, had the bird Frank has a vendetta, has a missing tail feather. He got shot at. He has a limp. He's limping around, and he has a missing tail feather. So I'm thinking they know not to go near the edge, because you got, obviously they've been shot at. There's also been a coyote in the area that I bumped twice last week. So right now they're just not going anywhere. So you know, it's making it a real challenge, but it's fun. And I love it. I love doing 6 to 7 miles trying to find birds, and when you do hear that gobble, you're like, oh wow, like that's cool, and especially when it's right by you. But then after that, you know, if you kill one or something like that, like that's what I'm still waiting for. But it's never going to be like deer or bear, in my opinion.
Nope, I agree with that. But there's nothing about there's something about hearing that first gobble, though. You know, when we first got out of the truck, every time we heard a gobble, I'm like, Squatch, they're here. Let's go fucking get them.
I thought Squatch was going to take his dick out for a second. Like, am I the only one that thought that?
Yep, I was like, here we go. I was like, oh, it's that kind of show. Get him,
right, that type of show.
Listen, I don't know what kind of zoom these webcams have, but you're going to need all of it, because you know.
And real quick, because I'm looking, I actually have not eaten possum yet.
Fuck you, Michael. Stop asking if they've eaten possum.
Oh my God.
I've eaten a lot of things. I haven't eaten possum yet.
Fucking Michael.
I'm gonna get a fucking crate and have them mailed to us.
Is that a popular
I was just
question
gonna
on
say,
the show? Does he ask everyone that?
Roadkill and
Michael is an amazing kid. He asks that every show we get on with, if we have a new guest.
Everybody.
He always asks that question. Besides the 50 million questions that he asks, one of the questions that he asks is if eaten possum. And I want someone to answer yes.
We got to get somebody on from like the Bayou, some hillbilly.
There you go.
You're gonna have to go south.
Like, damn, Michael, every other day.
I eat that shit for lunch, breakfast, and dinner all day long.
Yeah.
You know who I bet eats that football player, Xavier, whatever his name is. Like he's known for, he loves raccoons. Like, he's a big Southern boy and everything like that, where he hunts and everything like that and eats like everything. But I have not had.
It's Xavier Leggett, the wide receiver from the
Yeah,
I can see him eating that.
Yeah, I would try it. I would definitely try it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I'm down to try anything once.
I'm going to do Michael, just for you. One of these days here coming up, I'm going to record a video and put it on the internets with the Wi-Fi and ask people if they've eaten the opossum. And I want people to just tell me. And I want people to reach out to me. And I want someone to say, yeah, I've tried possum. I'm going to invite that motherfucker on the show. We're going to talk about you eating
the whole hour.
That's it.
Possum recipe.
We're going to talk about you eating possum. We kid, Michael. We love you.
we should have one to be like the ones from the hit list wonders that we've mentioned in the past, but I won't mention any names, but they've probably eaten possum, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, Dan's ate about everything but possum. Pretty sure.
Dan said I've eaten muskrat, beaver. I like eating beaver. Porcupine, elk, moose, grouse, turkey, coon, rabbit.
The one without the tail and it's on 2 legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. Wink, wink.
Uh-huh.
We're getting sidetracked. This is a PG-13 show. Fuck.
This show has never been PG-13, dude. This show has never even been rated R.
We ain't fucking starting now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to tell you guys, we have a episode that's unreleased because it's so like crazy. Like we went to bear camp when they opened up the bear season. I don't know if any Frank or any of you guys have listened to it, but like we were all absolutely hammered at bear camp. And we somehow got talking into like Hannah Barron and like all these girls. Bianca came down and was like, "Oh my God." Then talking about like lube and butthole. Like it was the wildest. So like this year we're like, all right, like how are we going to one up this one? And from the get-go, like we were all yet again just absolutely hammered. And I've actually been scared to look at it and to even like listen to it because I actually generally think this one is 100 times worse than the old one. And eventually I am 100% going to drop it. I just haven't decided when because I have not wanted to go on and listen to it myself because I generally do think I think it literally like within the first 5 minutes, like it just starts just bad. But that might have to be something that's like a special content where some people I'm gonna have to put $5 for this, like a OnlyFans, like a OnlyFans.
There you go. No wonder why he keeps inviting us to bear camp.
Yeah,
right.
You're trying to figure how many sponsors am I gonna lose after I drop this?
Exactly.
It sounds like what our Indiana camp is going to be like. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah.
That episode. So yeah, we're gonna be recording at least one episode down there. We're not doing live. And we're gonna release that episode, and I'm just curious to see.
Yeah, how many platforms we get banned on?
We've been put on probation on Facebook quite a couple of times already. So,
well, starring tonight on the Spice Channel, the Whitetail Advantage.
Spice Channel, dude, that's fucking 80s and 90s. I don't even think that shit's around anymore.
It goes to show
sure
the last
did
time
like
I
it
looked.
Though, and it was.
I don't know. That's when I jumped off that merry-go-round, I guess.
That was an old school one right there, boy.
Yeah, man.
Spice Channel.
Tuned into the Spice Channel. My buddy, I'd walk into my buddy's house and he'd be like, "Hey, come on, I got the Disney Channel on." I'm like, "What?" And it's like, I'm like, what the fuck are you watching? The Disney Channel. Oh no, it's not.
Oh yeah,
it's far from Disney.
No, Michael, we're not calling the mother.
Oh,
then it devalues the time that when she does come on the show.
Yeah, I mean, and it is Mother's Day.
She's like a unicorn. She'll come on maybe once in a while, maybe.
Very select times.
She's like she's like an ornery turkey. You can't overcall to her. She'll just run away.
Anyways, let's move on here to let's try and talk some type of hunting now.
I know, really. This is a hunting show.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. This is a hunting show at the end of the day.
We have guests. Have you looked? We have guests.
You do?
Gosh, Brett, get it together, or I'm going to start hosting.
I'm not the host. Frank is.
Damn it, Frank.
Actually, Mike is.
Whoa.
This guy's underneath his name.
I'm just a freaking, pro staff guy, like organizer. That's all I am.
Hey, just say host under your name, Frank.
Yeah.
You kind of screwed yourself on that
I didn't change it.
It's not my fault.
The host with the most.
So we've been on a couple of shows now. We've been talking. We've been getting really into depth. We're actually trying to be doing more episodes of this way of where we break down. Yeah, we're going to be bringing on biologists and talking about all whitetail deer hunting in itself, but we forget to talk about what makes deer hunting with the first time you're out hunting, and what makes a hunting story, and what makes that good memory, and the downfalls that you actually go through. And we've, on the last couple of shows, we've at least 2 that we've done so far going down this trip, we've opened up. At least I know I have. I know Dave and Squanch and Johnny has, where we've talked about our most failures through hunting at the beginning of our time and what we've done to overcome it. And trust me, we're going to have more episodes about it because we've gone through so much shit. And that's what hunting is about. And we also did a recent episode where we talked about our most memorable hunts. So I don't want you guys, Mike and Dave, to either do both or one or the other. Share one that's like, you know what, this one made me the most frustrated because of this failure, or this was my most memorable hunt. Whatever one that kind of makes like stands out for you guys. Like what, like for instance, like
I got one of each.
You got one of each. You can share.
Go for it.
You can go do both if you want.
All right, I'll start with the hunting failure. And this one, obviously, getting into, I was the first one in my family to bow hunt. Everyone else lives in Maine. They're gun hunters and everything like that. So, I took the skill that I had, but obviously bow hunting is much different. So, at this time I'd shot some does and everything like that, but just couldn't get that buck for whatever reason. Like I don't know if I would overthink it or not. And I'll never forget, like it was during the rut, something like I dreamed about, like, all right, like it's the rut time. Like this is what every hunter, especially getting into it, like everyone imagines their rut hunting going perfectly. You just got a buck cruising, gives you a perfect broadside shot and everything like that, and it connects, right? Well, I draw back yet again. Now the deer's quartering away at this point, 30, 35 yards. I put it right where it needs to go. And the minute I release, I know something is wrong. And my drop away rest does not go down at all.
Oh,
and it stays up and it strips the veins of my arrow. It actually still was able to get on target, but just dropped maybe 5 to 10 feet too low. It would have been a perfect shot. And the only time I think in my hunting career where I actually felt defeated, just because of how much time and effort goes into everything, the blood, sweat, and tears. And, when that final moment when everything you've done correct comes together. And it's something, honestly, that there wasn't really much I could have done about that. It was a equipment failure. Equipment fails at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And just the fact it was that time that didn't happen at all during the whole entire season. Just that time where it failed on me. And I was devastated. It took me about 5 minutes. But then yet again, my normal self got back. I was like, what the fuck do you have to feel sorry about? This is hunting. This is how things go. It's unfortunate, but this was a great learning lesson. And, I was able to fix my bow because the drop away, I said, nope, I'm going to just switch to a whisker biscuit for the rest of the year. And then, get a brand new drop away next year. And, those failures make me the hunter who I am today, and makes every hunter who they are. From whether you're doing something wrong or your equipment just fails on you or something like that, at the end of the day, it's a part of it. It sucks. But that right there was a huge failure of mine, and a huge valuable learning lesson. Also, like, I was able to, I put a lot of blame on myself too. And it got me really down low. That was my lowest point, I think, of my hunting career at that time.
I think before you get into your most memorable hunt, when it comes to failures, you obviously have equipment shit that goes wrong and stuff that you did personally wrong. Like you accidentally clipped your like if you're using the index finger release, you accidentally clipped the release button trigger on it, and the arrows flung right off the arrow as you're on your drop back. For instance, for you also have the scenario where your bow just fucked up basically, and you have those type of situations out in the woods, and you can't help nothing but yourself, and you can't help but not get mad at yourself, because it's like, well, we all take good care of our stuff. It's not like we just go around the house finding cement and just taking our bow and beating the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It's stuff that you just can't. You get butthurt about it, but it's those ones where it's like it's something that you did wrong. Obviously, I think we all feel the same way. It's going to sting just that little bit more and just that little bit longer compared to, oh crap, I can't do anything about that. How do I expect to know that's not going to happen? And so that's something that's like that something you got to know going into that in hunting, and know that's going to happen, and accept it and move on. But it's the stuff that you can do, that you can control, that you need to move on from, though.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. And then one of my, so there's tons of memories, but this is this one. I haven't told this one in a while, not even on our show. I said it probably season 1, and I don't think I've really talked about it again. But so me and my buddy Kurt, we were out hunting the same area. He was probably like half a mile away from me or whatever. And it was just a great hunt. Deer all over. I had deer coming in. He had deer coming in. And, he sends me a text of, oh, just shot one. So I'm like, all right, like, screw it. Let me get down and make my way over to him. And I start making my way. And on my way, they're just deer all over. So, the spot and stalk starts to hit in. And, I'm spot and stalking and everything like that. No success or anything like that. And I get to basically close to where he is. And it's like there's a field, and it's going straight this way, and then you have another field parallel to it. I saw a deer walking straight towards him, so I dropped down. I text him like, hey, there's a deer coming. There's a deer coming, right?
Fucking Michael.
That's great.
It's not going well. He's not managing it anymore.
It's too funny. So he's like, I don't see it. So I continue. I walk to him, and I get to where his tree is, and there's a buck literally right behind him. So I drop to the ground, and I'm trying to point to him like there's a buck like to him and everything like that. And he eventually got the picture. And to tell you the truth, this deer must have had no idea what I was, and was so curious that instead of running away, he actually closed the distance to me and got within 10 or 15 feet from me. And my buddy pulled back and absolutely smoked him, right? Here's where the deer takes off and almost runs me over. Thank God, like at the because I popped up. So I guess when I popped up, he immediately turned left and went right into a thicket and everything like that. It was one of the craziest. Like, I love getting that close to animals. Like, it's a huge adrenaline race. And even though I wasn't the one there to watch the whole entire thing, my buddy pulled back, shoot the bow, hit the deer, and literally have the deer come front on at me and then turn at the last second. We eventually found that buck and everything like that. He was right in the thicket, buried underneath a bunch of thorn bushes and everything like that. And it was still to this day one of my favorite hunts, just because of how close. Like, how many times do you see a deer and that deer just runs away? They don't often. They do get curious, but I've never been that close to a deer. Like, this had to be like 25, 30 feet from me to this deer. And the fact I think I just dropped so quickly just got the deer's curiosity going and just came right in, because he had no idea what I was doing. And he was trying to figure out the whole entire time, because you could see him do his head thing and everything like that. And, my buddy put a beautiful shot on, and, I almost got ran over, but I'm still here kicking.
For everyone that was curious what we were laughing at, Michael asked how my grinder account is doing. Yeah. That is freaking insane, though, Mike. I mean,
Yeah.
I have no words for that.
Fun thing too, like I've had like probably like a lot of my favorite encounters with bears while hunting them or doing some type of prep work to hunt them has all been in within like 10 or 15 feet of some big bears. I just love getting like up and close. That's why I love bow hunting. Like I love trying to get as close as possible to bears, to almost anything that I'm basically hunting. No matter, I haven't gotten to a lion yet or anything like that. I don't know how I'll feel when that day comes, but I imagine I will try to get as close as possible to or a grizzly bear or something like that. But yeah, there was a black bear that he passed my trail camera right when I was coming up the ridge to get to my stand, because I was trying to beat him to my stand because he was at my buddy's camp, and he has this pathway that he always walks. So he hits that spot and then hits my spot. And we passed literally each other probably by 5 or 10 yards in pitch black, where he was so close. Right when we passed almost by each other, I could hear his footprints hit the corn stalks, and then he just took off running.
Damn.
Man,
Damn.
It's crazy.
That's why I have a buddy. His name's Mitch. He loves to hunt from the blinds because of that reason. He loves to get up close and personal like that.
Yeah.
I tried hunting from the ground. I can't do it.
I'm not a fan of hunting from the ground now, just because I just like the being able to see everything up top like that. That's just like I like. It's already difficult enough with hunting deer and bear and everything like that. Obviously, see with turkeys, it's another thing. Like that's another thing I got to get used to, because I'm never hunting on the ground. So it's like they're at eye level, or sometimes the grass is all you can see is their head popping up and everything like that. So it is definitely a bit different. But being up in a tree, I will take 10 times out of 10 to hunt, even if it's one stick up.
I would hunt for the only time I'd really maybe see myself hunting from a blind is if you ever seen The Crush and how Lee gets his blind set up with the corn behind him, and he cuts like all that like half moon stuff in front.
Yeah,
I would hunt that way from a blind if I had to. That because he's got like his blind, then he's got like a tree stand on the other side of it too. I would hunt that way because they're all funneled right there in front of you, so you don't have to worry about them coming in front. Shut up, you stupid dog. Sorry, my dog's barking.
I was gonna say, dude, don't talk to your wife that way, dude.
No, I just like you.
Why
like
I'm
you,
in the basement.
Yeah. I just like being up in a tree. I like to see things. I like seeing things because
I
even
do
if I'm
too.
not seeing deer right next to me, at least like on the field edge that I hunt, I can see deer out 100 yards away, and I can see those through binoculars, and I just love watching them walk. I love that. That's just I don't know. Frank, what about you, man?
Oh, go ahead, Frank.
All right.
I'm
So,
sorry, you have something to say?
what you got?
No, I was just gonna say just the ground hunting. I've done both, tree stands, ground hunting, killed bucks from the ground, killed bucks from the tree. Just a little bit of everything over the years. But I do prefer to be above their noses.
Yeah.
Anything to beat their noses are just they're awesome. They can smell a long way, man. If you can beat their nose, you got them. You can get them. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, no. So I would start. I'm probably going to start with one of my biggest failures was same thing. It was at my farm. I was bow hunting. I watched this beautiful 8-pointer all summer. Kind of had them all figured out for October 1st. I took the whole week off to hunt this particular buck because I knew he's going to come the first week. And I went out there. I think it was the first 3 days. Never seen him. So I was starting to get kind of, I was starting to beat myself up a little bit, trying to figure out where he was, if I was doing it right, trying to figure out maybe should I hunt somewhere else. I was like, no, let me stick to my guns. Like, I know he's going to come down. I know he's going to take this trail. One morning, got in there early, waited for daybreak, and stupid me was sitting down and I hear noise behind me, and he's standing. I could literally see his horns coming around the tree. I still see it to this day. He's coming around the tree. I'm sitting down. My bow's hanging up. I made the worst mistake you can ever make. So I basically let him pass me. So as he's walking past me, I'm trying to stand up slow. I finally get up. I grab the bow. Now he's like at 15 yards and he's facing our field. And I'm like, all right. Now, like, as soon as he starts moving again, I'm gonna draw back slowly. I'm gonna let him have it. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he heard me or maybe he kind of saw something. But as soon as I'm like mid draw, he jumps and runs out to the field, and he turns, and now he's facing me. And by that time, my adrenaline's going, my heart's pumping. I come to full draw, and he's like I think he was like at 22 yards, and I rushed the shot. He was quartering to me, and I put it. Where do you put it? I put it like right behind his shoulder, but I end up hitting him dead smack in the shoulder. I watch him. He spins around. He runs down like the edge of our field. I can see the arrow sticking out of him, and I see him. He goes probably about 200 yards. He cuts back in the woods, and I'm like, all right. So I stayed up there for probably a good like 4 or 5 hours. I slowly get down, and I go to the last spot where I seen him. I looked for blood first. I couldn't find nothing. So I was like, all right, let me go to the last spot I saw him. I get over there, and there's my arrows, like right where I see him cut in, the whole arrow's there. So I already know I didn't get the penetration that I was supposed to. I'm like, oh, shit. So I start following. Now I find good blood for probably about maybe 30, 40 yards. And then I find a spot where he bedded down. Now, I don't know if he was there when I was coming down the field, and maybe he saw me and he booked it. But I found only one bed, and then there was just nothing. He just like vanished. We looked for that deer. I got like my whole crew. I let him lay the rest of the night because we own the other side of the road too. So I figured if he seen me, they usually cross the road. He goes on the other side, and the thick shit, we're gonna find him if I got him good. I looked for that deer for like 3 days straight. Never found him.
Damn.
Nothing. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Like, I can't believe I was sitting down. My bow was hanging up. I'm like, what an asshole. I was like, fuck. But, I mean, it taught me a lot. That's why, like, even when Squatch told me with those turkeys, how I am now, like, now I'm like all over the fucking place looking. Ever since that happened to me, I got like eyes in the back of my head ever since that fucking day. So, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. And, it was almost like, then this past season when I shot that big 10-pointer out, Mike and Squatch know about it. And I hit him. I almost had like that same sickening feeling when I shouldered that buck. And I thought it was a good shot, but ended up not being a good shot. But I mean, it was just one of those things that happened.
We thought it looked good, man.
We thought it looked good. We all looked at the video. We all thought it looked good. And, it was just one of those things where, none of us, we were so focused on the deer's reaction and not the penetration that I got. So, I mean, that, that was hard. And then, that following, I think it was a couple days later, I went up to New York State. I was like, fuck it. Like, I got to go back out. I got to try again. Go back out. And I remember texting the guys in the group chat saying, guys, I just saw the slammer 8-pointer out in the field. Like, I'm coming home with them. I don't give a shit. And the last morning I was there, sure shit enough, here he comes. And I mean, it was like textbook. I shoot him at 18 yards and I fucking hit him high, and he drops. I hit him in the spine. He drops. I'm like, yes, I got him. So I go to grab another arrow. I mean, they saw the video. I don't know how the fuck he got up.
Real quick, like it's I don't think I've ever seen a deer, like, at least from the angle it hit, like it definitely looked like a spine shot. Like it had the same exact reaction where the back legs just absolutely give out.
Yep.
You know, we've talked about on the first one, a lot of that could have been like same thing with the deer, why it reacted the way it was the kinetic energy and everything like that. And it could have honestly been the same thing where it hit very closest the spine, but it was just with so much force that maybe it was really close to a nerve or something like that, where it made everything give out for like at least a good like 30 or 45 seconds, because he falls over and like does the like, and then with just its front legs is dragging its back legs, and then all of a sudden you just see it get up. Like I don't think I've ever seen that, and that's the only thing possible. Like maybe if it wasn't a spine shot, that it was very close, just that kinetic energy just did something and, you know, made it go numb for however long.
Yeah, I was in shock. I was like, no, not when he got up and he ran. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. First person I'm texting Mike, I'm calling Squatch. I'm like, it fucking happened again. Like, you're never gonna believe this shit, you know? And you know, then actually ended up convincing Squatch to take the 1.5-hour drive. Appreciate it, brother. To come help me look for him.
Anytime.
And we ended up finding him. We ended up jumping him. But I went back the next morning, and right where we thought he went, I found him. So, I mean, it did have a positive outcome. So, but
it was just so we probably, how many times do you think we walked by him?
At least 8 or 10.
We literally, like, you know, when you look for a deer, like last ditch effort is make like a graph, and you know, you're on A, B, C, D, E, F. And we literally did that. Me, him, and his uncle. His uncle's like 74. The guy's a riot, man. And he's short. He's real short. You couldn't see him. Short. You couldn't see him. We just, hey, Frankie, I'm over here. I don't see anything. Where the hell is he?
Yeah.
You know, we're like, Jesus.
We're like, raise your fucking arm. We can't see you.
Fucking lost in cattails.
Shoot a flare up. Shoot a flare up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm over here. He's like, I'm over here, you sons of bitches. We're like, where?
But, you know, we're up there. I'm telling you, Frank goes, because he called me the next day, first thing. He goes, I got him. I'm like, no freaking way. Where? And we had Onyx on, and we had mapped everything out. And he's like, I'm going up here. I'm like, all right, man. Maybe he did. I found blood. I'm like, all right. I got the neighbor's tractor. We were up on that, and I was up higher, and I could see him. He was literally next to that green patch that we walked by like 15 times. I'm like, how the hell did we miss that freaking deer?
I don't understand it.
Wow.
Well, it was all right. I mean, you stuck with it. Dude, it's an hour and about 15, maybe 20 to your farm where he lives. He had, not only that night before, he had to run his uncle all the way back down, like 2 hours past his house to get him home. And he's like, I'm coming back up tomorrow. I'm like, you are crazy. Really? He's like, I can't sleep. I'm going. I don't even think you slept. I think you just got up and went back up there. Yeah.
Yep.
And by, was it maybe 10, 9:30, something like that, you found him.
Yeah, because I started doing the graph first.
Yeah.
And then I had like secured one side that I was like, all right, I know he's not here. So when I went to go do the second part to where we left off, that's when my neighbor came. He's like, hey man, like, did you find him? I'm like, no. Like, he's like, hey, if you want to jump on the tractor so you can get a higher view, like, I'm like, well, yeah, that's a good idea. As soon as I got his second pass, I could see the fucking buck laying there.
Yep.
I was like, you got to be shitting me.
The stuff though that we were going through, it's like old, like milkweed thistle and you know, like brambles and stuff. The stuff was nasty. I mean, it was nasty. And the hills, like, they roll down and then they pop up again. So there's lows, like little
Mhm.
like cubbies in there, and for deer are dark brown. They're so hard to see laying on the ground, and being that they are bigger than an elk, I'm surprised we didn't find one. So
No.
remember all that, right?
I do remember all that.
Hey, no inside jokes. No inside jokes.
You were there. You were there.
You were there for this one, Mike.
Yeah, that was the trivia
When?
question.
That was a trivia
Oh,
night.
Oh, duh.
Oh, I thought you said tricky question.
Oh, leave it to squats.
Still one of my favorite moments on trivia night for us. That is every time I go through that and rewatch that little clip, it never gets old. It's gonna be
It never will.
Be there for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
The funny part was the
Unfortunately.
actual look of stun on his face when he realized what he did. He was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but he goes,
But
no.
oh fuck.
Yeah. What's bigger, a squirrel or an elephant? A squirrel, you dumbass.
What was
Oh wait,
Other
hold
question
on.
he got
I
wrong, too.
gotta think about that.
the betting question? He got
betting.
the betting
Yeah.
question. he got wrong, too.
Very question.
Fuck that question.
Yeah.
That one was just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, question.
Yeah. How dare you try to trick me?
Yeah.
I fucked up on the first one. I'll take
Yeah.
that one like an
But-
idiot. But that betting one, no.
See,
Well,
fucking Jersey boys.
But he ended up winning. He screwed up twice, but he ended up winning.
I
Yeah.
still don't know how.
That's true.
I still don't know how.
Which is really bad.
I'm smart, but when you fuck up those two questions like that, or at least one of them,
Oh,
Fuck is Michael typing?
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh.
cows.
oh man.
Every once in a while, a squirrel finds his nut, and Brett found his nut.
That's a fact.
That's it. But oh yeah, my most memorable hunt. Let me go back to that one. So I have to say, same thing. It was New York State. It was me and my uncle, and this happened a couple years ago. We were just bullshitting. We were just joking around, saying, "Hey, like, you're going to shoot an 8-pointer, and I'm going to shoot an 8-pointer within like the first 3 hours. We're both going to get one each." So, I go up in the woods. He's hunting the field line, and all of a sudden I see this beautiful 8-pointer come, and he's walking right through the center of our woods. I'm like, oh, I got his ass, because all our woods is all open. So, and this was during rifle season, so I'm like, all right, like I got him, and I'm waiting for him, and because I thought he was coming up to me, but then he turns and he's going like back down towards the field. So I was like, all right, like you're gonna have to shoot him, Frank. So I crank up my scope, and I just draw my bead on him. I put the crosshair right on him. Literally right before I was about to pull the trigger, he fucking lays down. He's laying down. He's watching our field, and he's laying down. So now, like, I got no shot. I could just see his head and like his ass. That's it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, I should have just shot him before.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, come on, like, stand up. I'm grunting at him, trying to get him to stand up. Nothing. He was just in his own little world. So I'm like, shit. So I'm sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden I hear my uncle's gun go off. I hear him bang. I'm like, oh shit. And then I hear bang. I'm like, huh. And then I hear bang. I'm like, oh no. And all of a sudden he calls me. He goes, Frank, I got him. He's out in the field. The buck dropped. I'm like, no shit. He was like, yeah, I got him. So as I'm on the phone with him, like 10 does come running up. And I'm like, yo, I gotta go. So I hang up the phone, and the does run up, like straight up the hill. They get him to stand up. These does walked him like within 50 yards to me. And I mean, dead broadside out in the open. I shot him. He drops right there. Then I called my uncle. I said, mine dropped too. I guess we got 2 of them. He was so freaking excited. Oh, I'm going to go get the wine. I'm going to go get the pasta. I'm going to go get the cheese. I'm like, calm down. Calm down. He goes, that's awesome. That's awesome. So then I end up like calling my wife, telling her, hey, like we got 2 of them. She's like, all right. Like, she's like, don't do nothing with yours yet. Like, I want to bring Remy up. I want, she goes, I want Remington to either like find the deer or help you, whatever. So I was like, all right. So I went and looked at it, of course. I was like, all right, like now I got to leave it like to wait until they get up here. So then just to see like the look on my son's face when he's walking and he's like, Dad, I found it. Cause I was like, I think it's over here somewhere. Cause it was like, there wasn't a blood trail. So I couldn't have him really follow it. So I was like, I think the deer went somewhere over here. And he almost tripped over it like 6 times. And I'm like, no, Remington. I was like, come back this way. I think he went this way, And when he found it, he was so happy. And then he was helping me drag it and gut it. It was awesome, man.
That's cool.
That was definitely my favorite one.
How old is your kid?
Now he's 4. He'll be 5 in December.
No boy.
Yep.
Yeah. We talked about this kind of pretty much on a Sunday show, getting your kids involved in the outdoors and what it basically is bestowed upon you as a parent now to teach your kids the outdoors and teach them life lessons and on top of all these other values that you need to know. But with us as hunters, man, it's just to be able to teach your kids that. I know Dave, he can speak more about this as well more than what we can, but just coming from my side and Frank's side, I'm assuming only because our kids are so young and they're the same age, it's something that I'm extremely looking forward to, and just seeing the excitement at this young age right now is amazing. Besides my daughter, she's just a wildcat. I can't figure her out yet. She's not against hunting, but she's not for it. It's like, I don't know. She's like, oh, look at the pretty deer. Don't kill them because they're my friends. But my son, I'll be gutting the deer and he'll just dive right in. Yay! And let me
die.
Yeah.
So
it's a whole different, I will say that it's a whole different thing. I thought with like my personal accolades with the bucks that I've killed in my past, that each one, as they got bigger and bigger, it was like, yes, I bettered this one. This one's bigger. This one's big. This one's nice. I'm getting this one mounted. And then I took my second oldest out for the first time. And then he shot a doe opening morning a youth hunt. And then it changed. It was like all the other bucks and deer that I've killed in my life didn't mean anything.
It's like they all kind of faded away. And
Oh yeah. And then, and he decided he didn't want to hunt no more. He went to the Marines, which is fine. But now my 17-year-old, he's like a diehard. And then when he killed his first buck, it was kind of the same thing. I cried for both on both of when they both got their first deer. I cried. It was like I was so proud. And in that moment, I was like, I don't care if I ever deer hunt again. If I take them hunting and they get a deer, it kind of changed. And it was really weird for me. I felt really weird, like I was turning gay or something. And it was the weirdest feeling. That's like, I just thought that I don't care if I hunt anymore. But I didn't, because you're so proud of what your kids become. And he got their first deer, and you were there with him, doing that.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I really can't wait.
I can't even explain the feeling. And I thought maybe when my 17-year-old shot his deer, it'd be a little different, because I already went through that with my other son, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Nope.
Yep. And they're just like, "Why in the fuck are you crying?" And I says, "When you have kids, you'll fucking get it."
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
now, shut the fuck up and go gut it.
I mean, even when I have even when my son, he'll help me skin deer, and he's like, "Daddy, hurry up! I want to eat them for dinner." And I'm like, well, we got to skin them first.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like, it's just how they are. It's just, you can't beat it, you know, like, it's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to go through that.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't remember if this deer was before or after fish hug because it all kind of lumps together. But you would think, so I remember my first time getting my first deer with my dad and what it was, but I don't remember his reaction. The reason I say that is because I'm assuming it was more like just pure joy of like, oh wow, I just saw my son get his first deer, and it was a buck too on top of that. But for some reason, you would think seeing my dad's reaction of me shooting my biggest deer of my life a couple of years ago, I would see like some type of remember his reaction. And I do, but some reason this reaction on this other deer, it wasn't obviously as big as him. But when I went over there, we didn't have to track the motherfucker because I saw him die 50 yards away from me. And I texted him, yeah, he's dead. Come down here and get him. It just seemed like another day getting a deer. But for some reason, this deer, we're looking at him and we both just looked at each other and just his face of just like, fuck yeah. Like, just like his reaction of me getting the deer.
Yeah.
And like I said, this deer was nothing like big or fancy or anything like that, at least in my opinion. But just to see him react that way when the deer was already there, I don't know. And I guess I'm kind of going off of what you said, Dave, of to see your own kid have that type of success. And I think I was just going on high of 2 deer, and then I got the next deer the next year, something like that. But I was just excited to have. I really don't remember what it all was, but some reason about that deer and his reaction with that. And this was only like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. But I bet you if you asked him about it, it would be different if you asked him about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet he probably remembers your one hair that you had on your head was blowing in the wind. And, you know,
I did ask him. I did ask his dad. And
that's right. Over at dinner.
Well, what happened was he just picked up Brett from the ballerina shop. And, you know, he's like, son, look, put down the tutu and the slips and just come out in the woods with me. Just please. I want to just see if we can really make you a man.
Daddy, I don't want to. I want to dance.
Yeah, he was doing the Stewart. You know.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, he finally got up in the stand, and the buck was drunk on apples, from what I understand. From what his dad said. And it stumbled over a log. It ran into the tree. It passed out, and Brett shot the arrow in it, and that's why he didn't have to track it.
Yeah,
and his dad was actually,
yeah.
For one time in Brett's life, his dad was proud of him. So I mean, that was really cool.
Good job, kid. You fucking killed a drunken, passed out fucking buck.
And then they went down. Yeah,
you're a fucking killer.
So then Brett felt like a tough guy, and he went and got a bunch of prison tattoos, and now he's
got a tramp stamp of an antler on his ass cheeks.
Yeah.
It's shape of a heart.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey.
Don't you judge me back, Freckle.
Yeah, Freckle.
Sprinkles. Yay.
I kid you not. I'll say this before we end tonight's show. One of my nicknames when I was working at the sheriff's department was Sprinkles. I shit you not.
God. Oh, you shouldn't have told me.
Oh, shit.
So I wasn't on the road at this point in time. Oh my gosh. I was working in the jail, and I kid you not. So one of the I think it was around Christmas time. One of the bail bonds agencies brought in some donut holes for everyone that was working the afternoon crew. And oh my God.
Look how many I could put in my mouth. Woo.
I love donut holes.
Each side of the jail got like a dozen, like 2 dozen boxes of donut holes. So I'm reaching in, I got some of mine. I'm like, oh, these sprinkle ones are fucking amazing. Is there any more? And they're like, yeah, there's some sprinkled ones left down in the sergeant's office. And I fucking book it. And you could see me down the window. The power operator's like, why the fuck is Bowman running down the hallway? Is there a fight somewhere? They said, no, Sprinkles is going to get more sprinkled donut.
Sprinkles too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of my stories of Sprinkles.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, what an amazing night of talking about hunting. That's for
Oh,
sure.
it was fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
Mike,
Always
Frank,
a
thank you
pleasure.
so much for coming on for tonight's show. I would say Squatch and Dave, thank you, but you have no choice. Anyways, before we
true.
ask everyone how we can find you guys, Frank and Mike, these guys are actually going to come back on the show again for our trivia night, Stump a Chump. And it's going to be Whitetail Advantage versus Boondocks. And we're also going to be doing, through this event as well, our own tallying of. So I think Squatch is running the next upcoming show. It's going to be on June 29th. It's Sunday, June 29th. And right now, Dave has one win. We've been doing it once so far. We're going to be doing it our second time. And throughout this event of Whitetail Advantage versus Boondocks, everyone on Whitetail Advantage is getting scored as well. So whoever wins at the end of it, we're going to be getting a title belt. And that person has it for the full year for bragging rights.
That Johnny gave away the secret.
Yeah, fucking Johnny gave away the secret. I had one being designed.
It'll be a great idea. We did a WWF belt for the winner. Brett's
cool.
like, fuck you, dumbass. That's what I was going to do.
Freaking tool bag.
Yeah, Brett's like,
love it.
cancel that order, please.
Yeah, I don't want that order. That seems gay now.
Yeah.
Mike, how can people reach out to you and follow along your journey, brother, and ask you?
Everyone, you can follow us at Boondocks Hunting on Instagram, YouTube, everything like that. And then our shows, if you want to look that up and not use Boondocks Hunting, you can use the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast and also the Chase the Unknown podcast. The Garden State Outdoorsman podcast, that's on every single platform, I think, imaginable. I think.
Grinder.
And then it of course
That
duh.
one too.
Where do you think Frank and I met? Come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's even
We
on
had
the
to come up-
Spice Channel.
Spice Channel.
We had to come up with some bullshit story.
What is that old one? Skinamax?
Skinamax, Spice Channel.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Wet and Wild
None of this
After Hours.
Bullshit now. Oh yeah.
Spice Channel. Oh my god.
Man, when they say whitetails, those aren't whitetails. Those
Yeah.
are whitetails. Wow.
Things are starting to make sense why your guy's name is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finally clicking along here. Frank,
Yeah.
how about you, brother?
We're the new Sprinkle. Yeah, we're gonna be the new Sprinkles Advantage.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's too
Frank,
funny.
what about you, man?
Yeah, so you can find me on Broadside Ambush, Frank, on Instagram. You can also find me on the Garden State Outdoorsman podcast. I also have another Instagram where it's Frank Hunter 6. You can also find me there.
I swear, when he was getting ready to say how you can find him, I thought he was going to say you can go fuck yourself. That's what he was going to say.
I already did that.
Frank, you go fuck yourself.
Yeah. You want to go find me? Google me.
Google me, bitch.
That would have been a good answer, Frank.
I would have, man. Damn. Next one.
Next time.
Yeah.
Google me, bitch. Frank, Dave, Squatch, and Mike, thank you so much for coming on tonight's show. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys next Tuesday.
All right,
Or at
brothers.
least you guys. Let me
Later.
do that.
Yeah, good night.
guys.
Oh man, love those guys. Anyways, I want to say thank you to everyone that's going to conclude another episode of the Whitetail Advantage podcast. I want to say thank you for gathering around the electronic campfire. Now, if this show made you laugh, made you think, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're listening to this on the audio version, please hit that 5-star rating and give us your feedback as well. We greatly appreciate all the feedback we get. Now, the audio versions of our podcast gets released every Monday and Wednesday at 5 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to be a guest on our live show or you want someone from Whitetail Advantage to be a guest on your episode, head to our website, whitetailadvantage.com, and submit your request through there. Now, I also say thank you to all the companies that's partnered up with here at Whitetail Advantage. Also, if you want the Whitetail Advantage live calendar to be on your calendar, send us your email and we can get it set up that way. That being said, put your quarter in the slot machine, help share the show, and we'll see everyone next Tuesday. Have a great icy night, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.